Hello again, everyone. Welcome to the Rome Floyd Chamber Show here on Rome Business Radio. We are broadcasting from the Hardy Realty Studios in downtown Rome, Georgia, on beautiful Broad Street on a beautiful day. I am Roger Manus with Rome Business Radio.
I'm Karley Parker with the Rome Floyd Chamber, and today for our resource podcast, I'm laughing because she does not like to do this. She does not like to get in front of the camera. Is Amber West, our Director of Communications.
Hi, Amber.
Hello.
Do you not like doing podcasts?
No, I am good with doing it. I'm just so much better at telling other people.
Yeah, she is. She is the person behind the scenes. Like, go do. You're going to be the face of this and be in the picture, and go. You have to go be in the picture. And I'm like, you don't want to be in the picture? She's like, no. My job says I don't have to be in the picture.
I'm here to support.
What is the old, I forget who said it, but not everybody can be in the parade. Some people have to be on the curb and clap as the parade goes by.
That's right.
She's the director of the parade. So,
and you were lamenting before the show started that you need some more coffee.
I do.
Sorry, we don't have it.
No, that's okay. It's probably for the best.
It's got to be one of those days where you need several cups.
Yes.
Sometimes that happens. Well, thank you all for joining us. So we're here to talk chamber and resources, and I guess that takes us. What do you do?
Well, and she's the veteran at the chamber as well.
Yeah.
So she kind of knows. A lot of people actually reach out to her, probably not in a bad way, just a little bit more comfortable with you, and then you have to be like, well, actually, that's not my department.
I used to do that 3 years ago.
That's true. Yeah, and a lot of things are, there was a time I was doing ribbon cuttings and all that kind of stuff too, and changes, so people still reach out for those things, which I love to talk to them, so it's a good opportunity for me to catch up with them as well.
So, Director of Communications, what everything at the chamber, everybody always does everything, but what does that specifically entail?
For me, that means website, social media, any communications that goes out to members, young professionals falls under me. So it's a wide scope. And
I know you wanted to talk about young professionals. Yes. So just for people who are listening for the first time, what is that? Young Professionals is a group or a collab through the chamber that is for ages 21 to 40, and is any chamber. 39's not really young. No, I'm teasing.
You say it is.
I'm joking. It's very young to me.
It's young to me too. So through 40, active chamber members. So anyone who works for a chamber member can join. There's a fee associated with that, but it covers them for a year. March to March is our year at the Young Professionals, and then we do fun things. Last month we were at Schroeder's in the courtyard just hanging out. Sometimes we'll go bowling. We've gone to Oak Hill Museum and toured Martha Berry's home. We take them around to see what is available in Rome, what's in their backyard, and then just give them also a chance to meet people that are around their same age, in the same stages of life, and build that community here.
Wow, that was well said, like a director of communications would say.
I try.
So it's social,
yes,
and business. Mm-hmm. So kind of the best of both worlds. So, but they don't even have to be in the same industry. It's just chamber members.
We have chamber members. We range from education. We have teachers that have been members. We have manufacturers. Colleges is another big group. Small business owners. Everything. And we, like I said, 21 to 40. So you have people just out of college, and you have people that are a little more settled into their careers, which is great because they get to really meet each other and they get to help each other as well.
How long has this been around?
So Young Professionals has existed for as long as I've been at the chamber. So I know it's been here at least 7 years. I couldn't tell you the exact date it started, but I would say we became more active before COVID. The year before COVID started, we really took off, and we started as Let's Do Lunch, Young Professionals. So we only did lunch meetings, which was great.
Well, when there's food.
It was great.
There's always food.
There's always food. I'll warn people if there's not food, because there's always food. But we met for a while as that, and then COVID hit, and like everything else, it took a toll. So we took a break. We did some virtual meetings and things like that. But then after COVID, we really started, once everything settled, like everyone else in the world.
It was really like 2022.
Yeah, we really...
that COVID thing kind of lingered in every industry for a long time.
It did. And we had to reevaluate, people's... lifestyles changed. How you wanted to spend your time was not the same as it was before COVID. Did you want to donate, or do you want to be home with your family in the evenings? We're hearing a lot of that but then we also had people that wanted to get out of the house. Yeah. So we kind of changed our model a little bit, and now we do lunch and after hours. But our after hours are very
from 4:30 to 6,
more abbreviated. Like leave work 30 minutes early. Come hang out with us for the hour after work, and then go home. And, you get to still have your dinner reservation with your friends. You get to run by and check on your mom if you need to. You can go let the dog out. Those kind of things. Who let the dogs out? So we really want to make it work for them. And we normally are at places where, in the evenings especially, where if you want to hang out longer, we have groups that do.
Yeah.
Like they're having a great conversation.
Like at Schroeder's, they stayed, like we always do provide somewhat of food, but there was a big group that stayed and ate dinner there with the friends that they have made in that group.
Yeah, I'm here. I don't need to go home. So let's get.
And we always encourage that. So they make a great group of friends while they're there.
Now, was this a conscious decision to kind of, after COVID, kind of research and get some feedback about how can we tweak it, like with these hours, or did you just happen to hear people comment and okay, this is a trend, we need to address this?
I think we heard people comment. I think we started noticing at other events as well, like people came in earlier, like they were waiting for us to be there, like in their cars before events, and we're like, okay, well, a lot of people want to be here early, and a lot of people's schedules allow it. And then also at the same time, we were having a lot of people say, well, I got to run home, especially with young professionals, because we're ages 21 to 40. You got a lot of kids involved.
A lot of kids. And
well, I got to go pick up.
A lot of dating, a lot of kids.
I got a soccer game. I got, this. And a lot of our people participate in the adult league that's around. They want to go play pickleball after work. They do soccer. So they have things that they need to go do too. So we want to give them the opportunity, and we have some things that'll go later sometimes, but we really try to give them that opportunity to live their life as well.
So from the social aspect, it's just fun stuff to do, but from the chamber aspect, the business aspect, these people are forming connections, and I guess the goal from your perspective would be, hey, maybe they do business together, or it might lead to a job change. Hey, you ever heard about an opportunity, stuff like that?
And also for me, my goal going into it always is a lot of these people that have joined Young Professionals, some of them are not from here. My goal is to get you to stay. My goal is to get you to fall in love with this community. It was really kind of
an initiative of the chamber, of Pam sat down with Amber and was like, for Floyd County to grow, we have to recruit young professionals. How do we do that? We're going to make the chamber a resource for businesses to kind of help recruit, be like, we already have this group set up. You go, it's great. There's all types of different people your age to come kind of connect with that as well. So it's definitely been an initiative to try to recruit young professionals here.
Yeah. Well, because I guess that it would be a tendency. A lot of people, when they get out of college, if they're a young professional, they might automatically gravitate to someplace like Atlanta for work or things like that. But if they will come here, or they come back here because they're from here, or they come here for the first time and they find a job, that you're adding a slice of life to the culture to make Rome more appealing.
Yes, it's harder to leave somewhere when you have roots. So you just, when you have a lot going on and you have a group and you're comfortable and you're like, well, I'm involved in this nonprofit, and my kids have started school here, and I love this group I'm in. It's things like that make you see how wonderful this community is.
After COVID, and again, we lingered, did you almost feel like you were having to crank it back up from scratch?
Yes.
Really?
It was a complete rebrand, pretty much.
And how challenging was that?
It was a challenge, I will say.
She hit 2022 hard. It was with the events and restructured it and all that.
It was a lot of research, a lot of going into it, see how some other chambers had done things. And it was a rebrand from 2019. I mean, we had really completely relaunched, so it really felt like I had just done it.
And how often do you try to have these get-togethers?
We try to do something about once a month, depending on how it goes, scheduling with other places. But we typically try to do at least one thing a month. Now, we'll take a month off every now and then because
holidays.
Yeah. Some months are harder, like December's hard and things. I mean, everybody's got a family event and like things along those lines. So, and it kind of depends what's going on in the world.
Right. Like college football season.
No, we appreciate college football season at Young Professionals.
I would imagine there's a whole bunch of different allegiances.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I would hate to take that poll. I'd hate to see what it looks like. But yeah,
just like everything else in the South, it would be very, very, very crazy and diverse.
Very diverse.
So, how many people are currently in it? Do you have do you max out?
No.
The more the merrier.
The more the merrier. We are around 70 members right now, and we're consistently growing. So that's 70 people that consistently come throughout. Now, they don't make it to every single event, which is fine. Life. That's one of the reasons why we give the lunch and the after-hours options, because some people can't make it.
Right.
Our teachers can't make it to lunch.
But this is a situation where you don't have just 6 people show up because the group is 70. You have a crowd. We
have about 70 members currently.
Yeah.
We're always looking to grow that.
Yeah.
And y'all, is that giveaway that you did is still available?
No, it's actually over. But we do fun things to encourage people to join. So we actually just completed a little competition between our members to recruit people. So the thing is we want to grow, but we want to grow in a proper way. So we want our people that are members already to invite their friends or people they know from work, because if they start doing that, then the word gets out a little bit more, because it's them telling them, oh, I've had so much fun at this.
Yeah.
And this is a great opportunity. So it's an organic way for us to grow. So we've been encouraging them to bring people in, and they're going to win. They're getting entered for a prize. So they're all very excited.
A prize?
Yes.
There's food and prizes.
Oh, yes. We do prizes.
And at the after hours, there's always 2 drinks included.
Yeah.
2 to 1 drink included as well.
So we normally go to different
the lunch, though, it's just lunch.
Yeah, lunch, yes. Just lunch.
Otherwise, nobody go back to work.
Yeah.
We support the businesses. We need them to go back to work.
Yeah. Good director of communications response from the chamber. So this is one of your duties, and how is it? Is time consuming, or like are you all the time working on this? Kind of, sort of, every bit of every day thinking about it.
Always, yes.
Yeah.
But I would say that for all the parts that I handle.
Well, that's interesting. How long have you worked at the chamber?
It will be 7 years this month.
Okay. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Good for you. Happy anniversary, or whatever it is you say. So you're the veteran.
Yes.
And just in the last couple of years, there's been a bunch of additional hires. So before, everything the chamber was doing was falling on like 2 or 3 people.
We went through some times where it was like that. Yes.
So how has your life changed in that? It seems like there's more people now, so there's more people working on different things, but there's also more work created.
More work. Yes, that's very true. It's nice for the sense of roles are divided. Like I talked about earlier, there was a time where, I was helping to schedule ribbon cuttings and things like that. We were just that small of a staff for a minute. And so it's nice to be able to hand some of those things over and focus on the things that are my direct role.
Yeah, everything's kind of clearly defined.
Mm-hmm. It helps a lot, and it helps our members too, so they always know who to go to. Like Karley said earlier, they're still going to reach out to people that they're comfortable with. I've been there 7 years. I get questions all the time, and I'm happy to answer them. But normally it's a great opportunity for me to be like, hey, have you met Karley? She handles ribbon cuttings now. I'm so excited for your event. I will be there. And how's everything going with you? But let me introduce you, because y'all need to talk anyways. You need to know each other.
All right. So, Karley, you do ribbon cuttings? What else do you do?
I make sure our members are happy anytime that they call us. If they have questions about benefits, I talk to
you're
them.
the morale person.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's a cheerleader.
Yes. And schedule all those events, what Amber was saying, but just pretty much a little bit of everything. And then each of us have a collab that falls under us. So like
collab, that's
collective.
It's like a committee.
There we go. Okay.
Committees scare people.
We've talked about that before, but y'all throw out the word collab, and our listeners are like, "What?"
Yeah,
it's the same thing as a committee, just a better name for it. We think.
Yeah, you don't have to work it. It is more of a resource. Our like young professionals is more of a gathering for certain groups. So mine is Small Business Collective, which we're actually having a Small Business Collective meeting September 19th at 9 a.m. about management. I know that's a broad term, but it's like for small businesses. Do you have a manager? Do you want to be a good manager? Do you know how to hire a good manager is kind of the topic. So that's what we're going to be focusing on. And we meet quarterly. Pretty much all our collabs meet quarterly, besides the young professionals meet monthly. And then GRIA meets monthly. And
GRIA is?
Greater Rome Existing Industries Association for our manufacturers.
Yes, it is only for our manufacturers, and that is a closed group. And then our leadership group meets 9 months out of the year.
Do y'all just have like this huge calendar somewhere?
Yes, in Mary's office currently.
But it's for 2024.
Yeah, it's for 2024.
Oh, I've heard of this calendar. Is this the one with the sticky notes?
Oh, yes. Yeah. And it's migrated into my office because I realized that
she's going to have to be doing all the social media, graphic design.
So now it's duplicated because I was like, I can't keep walking into your office to look at this.
Yeah, well, for our listeners, you can actually find it digitally on the website.
You can. A lot of it will be up there soon.
You don't have to stop by the chamber looking for sticky notes.
I mean, you can stop by and see us anytime. We'll gladly show you all our sticky notes.
So they're all the time I'm seeing on social media. Ribbon cutting after ribbon cutting after ribbon cutting. So that's you.
Yes. And open houses and chamber celebrations and
after
hours and coffee and connections. But Amber handles all the pretty. If it looks pretty on social media, it came from Amber, not from me.
Because she's the director of communications. So, I don't even ask you how many ribbon cuttings y'all do a year.
Like last year, we had like 200.
It was a lot last year. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Because we did an ad.
I did a huge ad in the paper, and it took up 2 full pages, I believe.
It was like probably between 150 and 200.
Right. But I guess that's a great sign of businesses growing and starting or rebranding and celebrating an anniversary. It does, because sometimes a ribbon cutting is not their opening for the first time.
Yeah, well, and we've added a lot of new events to kind of help.
Yeah, to make ribbon cuttings more for new businesses.
Gotcha.
But still celebrate our businesses that are under new management, which would fall under open house or chamber celebration, which is those anniversaries are a big award.
Right.
So we kind of just narrowed it down a little bit more.
But I guess all in all, though, that's a good indication of kind of the health of the economy in Floyd, right?
Yes.
Does that give y'all a good barometer?
Oh, well, yeah, definitely. I think when we see a lot of these, especially when we see the new businesses open, and like for me, because I've been here for 7 years, a lot of the new businesses that opened when I first started are now calling Karley to celebrate those milestones.
Yeah.
5 years.
Or they just won a big award or things like that. So people I was at the ribbon cutting for straight out of college are now celebrating big milestones.
What is what are some? I know it's only been 7 years. That's not a very long time, really. But in terms of chamber life, because what are some of the changes you've seen kind of around town, or just in industry or business, or maybe even inside the chamber itself? Just because we've needed this help, and we've got this help now.
I mean, Rome and Floyd County has. I feel like I get the phone call a lot where people call and they say, I haven't been in 10 years and this is the first time I've been, and wow. What all the things y'all have now. And so that's always a great one, because then we get to talk about everything that's new. But I mean, it has changed a lot. In the few years, I would say from COVID to now, it's changed. You get new businesses that pop up, things. I mean, River District is one big example. That's about to be huge. I mean, it's already big with what's there, but I mean, we're about to see a lot. I mean, River Bend Mall area, which was River Bend Mall. I mean, that whole area of East Rome
Kroger
is so different now. I mean, from when I started, I mean, it was an empty Kmart when I first started here. It was so all the work that the Ledbetters have done in this town. I mean, it's a lot of things going on, and that's great.
And old timers like me, we remember that when East Rome High School was there and River Bend Mall, and now there's all kinds of businesses there.
It's different.
Yeah, it is different. So, how is membership going as coming out of COVID? Is that are we blowing and going? And
I mean, I think so. I think it's been pretty steady. I've only been here for a year, so I'm like looking at Amber because I'm like, what's the past like? I'm not really sure. So it's definitely like a steady new business is joining, or even now that we've done a lot of, I think, rebranding of the chamber, old businesses that dropped are now rejoining again for different reasons for the chamber now.
Well, I tease y'all a little bit about the calendar, and you always have so much going on, and this is me singing the praises of the chamber. Do y'all ever just feel like, I need a week to catch my breath?
When Pam goes out of town, that's when we usually do that.
That's our chance to catch up on just the housekeeping items that we need to get done.
Well, so even then you're still working. It's not in the cat's way, the mice will play.
Luckily, we do get vacation. So, so when we need those days, we just take our vacation.
But there's just week after week, event after event, which is a good thing. I mean,
it is.
It just shows how much is going on.
Yeah, well, and I don't know if people believe when they call and like, I want a ribbon cutting in 2 weeks. I'm like, that is not going to be possible, like at all. Like, you got to give me 6 weeks. So, and they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that y'all's calendar. I was like, if you would like the staff there, it's got to be 6 weeks. So then that way we can make sure you are on our calendar and you are our focus, not, Pam's can only be there for 5 minutes. Amber's got to go to this other meeting. Alex has got, a manufacturing tour. Eric's got leadership. Like, Mary's got TRC. Like, I really do need that long time, and me and Amber always laugh about the scheduling too, because like we're in September. We just got in September. We're already knocking down November. Like, what is going on and going to be in November, what she's got to post in November, what is coming up, what she helps me with, like all the written, like ambassador applications just came out. If anyone's listening, if you are a member and have been a member for a year, you can join that. But
and the ambassador program is kind of the volunteers.
Yes, the volunteers, and she
spokespersons for the chamber.
Yes, and she has helped me create the application and all the graphics you see, and her putting it in the newsletter. Like it. We are already in November. Like, October's already set. If you needed a ribbon cutting or an event in October, it might not happen. Like, we really do try to fit our members in, because we don't want them to think that we don't care, because we really, really do care. But it's
a busy calendar.
When we're booked, I feel like Mondays are. We don't do anything on Mondays because usually people will forget if we do have something on Mondays. Or Mondays we come in and like it's the weekend and all our emails are so slam full from the Friday.
Or the weekend.
Yeah. And then all the weekend. So
really?
Yeah. Mondays are our email catch up day.
Yeah. Like we'll all be sitting down and we're like, oh my gosh, look at, and Pam's like, you can just hear her just typing. It sounds like a courtroom
it's like
in her.
Clack.
Yeah. So like, again, people that want to schedule these events and have a great time with us, we really are now to the point in the chamber where we're all settled, where people know now they need to call us like 6 weeks in advance to get their schedule.
To maximize.
So it's promoted properly and people know.
That's to their benefit.
Yes.
That's just, this isn't the old, let me call and we'll get this set up next week. times have changed. You guys are blowing and
And
going
it's
all the
not,
time.
and also it's for other members to support members. Like they need time too. Like just things have changed so much. Like even our ambassadors, they if the majority of ambassadors can come, it's because that has been on their calendar for weeks, weeks and maybe even months on end. The ones that are maybe a little bit lower of attendance is because they were like, no, we really want it in a week. And we're like, okay, that is totally fine. We are here to still cheer you on. But a lot of ambassadors have already scheduled theirs out. Our other chamber members have already got theirs. So we really try to do that for the benefit of the member as well.
Yeah, that's good to know. Because they want to maximize it. So the best way to maximize it is just kind of plan a little bit.
Yeah.
So how can people get involved in Young Professionals?
So if you go to our website, romega.com, and you go to collabs, there is a Young Professionals tab. You click that, you sign up. There's information on that page. There's a little sign-up sheet. If you are a chamber member, there's a sign-up sheet. If you're not, it directs you to call me, and then I'm going to walk you through some things and some options on how to sign up. And
the website, of course, or social, that's a great place to start first to get any information about anything, right?
Yeah.
As opposed to sending you an email on Monday.
We will answer
it.
We'll answer it. That's just...
It's just it's more of a me, like the inner chamber employees kind of laugh because we're like, all right, who has the most emails? Who got the most emails over the weekend? It's Pam for sure. But
that's always Pam.
Y'all should have a prize for second place.
I know. But Mondays have become our regroup day almost. Even though it's the start of the week, it's a minute for us to
kind of regroup because we have so much going on throughout the week.
Even on Fridays. So.
But I was going to say the young professionals, if there is a young professional and you work for someone, a lot of companies are really grateful and really do support the chamber and want their young professionals to get involved in things like nonprofits or stuff like that. And this group is a great way because there is a little bit of a leadership development with this as well. So a lot of companies, if you ask your company, a lot of them will say yes. Like we have a lot of companies that pay for their young professionals to be part of this.
Because from the company's perspective, it's helping. I've got an employee on their own time networking.
Yes.
And meeting other people that might
You're making connections. I mean, I walk by people all the time as I'm doing my loops at events to check on everybody and make sure, food's good and all that. And I hear them talking about, well, can I come by and see you on Wednesday for that meeting? I'm interested in learning more about that. So things like that. I mean, they really are making those. It's not, fun is, we'd love to have fun, but they are actually making connections.
Okay, you hear that, you 21 to 40-year-olds? This is the place to be.
Yes.
It is. It really is so much fun. Like when I even talk to members, I'm like, now, what interests are you in? And when they say trying to make connections, I'm like, well, if you're 21 and 40, I highly encourage that because it is a great, great group. We have great groups everywhere. It's so much more probably like on a personal level because it's a lot more relaxed. Like these collabs, like that small business collab, like they're there because they want that resource as a business owner. They're not kind of there to like try to mingle. Like they're there to be like,
fact finding. This is I'm learning. Yeah, okay. I'm implementing. I'm learning.
And our manufacturers are only with our manufacturers, but like this group is a lot more, I would say, diverse in like the professional world, way more relaxed. So it
automatically makes it more social.
Yes,
but still effective.
Yeah,
yes.
Absolutely.
We try. That's a big point for me. Is I want everyone to come in and have a great time. Where we didn't even mention this with their membership, they get a buddy pass. So they get 3 buddy passes for the year. They can bring a friend to it. You can bring your spouse. You can bring a significant other. You can bring your sister. Whoever you feel comfortable with to come, especially to like that first or second event where you're like, don't feel like I know anybody. It's just safety blanket a little bit to bring somebody in. Or you can use those, and I do have people that do this, they use those buddy passes to bring somebody that they think would be a great addition to the group. Yeah. So that seems a little interested. So it gives them a little taste of what they're doing. So we offer that as well because we do want them to, we always want it to be fun. We always want them to make good connections and feel like it's useful. But I do really strive to make it feel like a relaxed environment. I don't want them ever to feel like
sounds like
lectures.
A lot of fun. Sounds like a lot of fun. Shame I'm too old. Way too old. Okay. Any final thoughts? We mentioned the website for people to learn more about it, romega.com, but, Any final thoughts you want to make sure? You mentioned the buddy passes. Have we left anything else out?
That's about everything. But if you have questions about it, please give me a call.
Yeah, I was just going to mention, we do have that small business collective coming up September 19th for how to become a manager. Do you need a good manager? How does hiring a good manager look like? That's super important. And then the ambassador application is out, which if everyone's been getting their newsletter and checking it, that information is all in there as well. So
it's also on our social media, Rome Floyd Chamber.
Yes.
Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn.
Yeah. She takes care of all that. So
is anybody a big TikToker?
When you say a TikToker though, like what are you talking about?
I don't know, just the people who dance.
No, none of us are dancing.
No, let me tell you though, Amber did it when I first started. You were like, we might try TikTok, and she made me get in TikToks, and I was like, please, I'm so tired of being in these photos. And she's like, well, too bad, you're the director of membership, so
you're the face.
Too bad.
You're making it sound like a boss of everybody.
You're the veteran, so yeah. Okay. RomeGA.com. And ladies, this was awesome. This was fun.
Thank you.
You can go get some coffee now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. You've been listening to the Rome Floyd Chamber Show. Here on Rome Business Radio, we broadcast from the Hardy Realty Studios in downtown Rome, Georgia on beautiful Broad Street. Thank you so much for listening.